Alaska is home to many beautiful and dangerous creatures, and bears are at the top of the food chain. These creatures are even bigger there, as their habitat is more well preserved. Here are 30 moments of bear encounters in Alaska which might make you rethink your vacation plans if you were going there. From the most dangerous to the most tame. We have them all today, so make sure to sit through till the end. Let's begin. This humble abode came under attack by a giant grizzly bear that was trying its best to get inside the house. The homeowners record the animal from two different perspectives, one from the inside and one from the outside. The animal tries to rush through the front door as the people do their best to close it. The bear drops down and finally gives up as it walks off the porch, leaving the family alone. The family, on the other hand, had an experience they will never forget, and now is probably a good time to start locking the doors and reinforcing them. Here is an example of someone with guts of steel. This hunter, armed with a bow and arrow, is approached by a fully grown grizzly. The animal comes right up to him with zero hesitation, and the brave hunter himself stands his ground as he does not budge at all as the bear sniffs his leg. The bear comes right up to the man who is covering his friend, and thankfully walks away as if it had nothing else to do. That is what you call a close and personal encounter, and they should feel really lucky that they got to go home. This construction site almost became the scene of a crime when one of the workers was chased on top of a truck by a massive bear. The bear went all out for the attack, and if it wasn't for the quick thinking of the worker, things might have taken a turn for the worse. It looks like these two best friends are having a nice time together as the bear holds onto his foot with its massive claws. The boot seems to be made out of something as hard as a rock, as the bear's claws are not able to puncture it. As soon as the animal tries to get a better grip on the foot using its hind leg, the man starts kicking his legs in the air because he knows that things are going to get rougher. He lets the animal know that he is done playing and that it is time to give him some space before the claws become sharper.
Кыш, кыш, медведь! Кыш, кыш, кыш!
This mother bear and her cubs seem to have found an easy snack inside this tent. Luckily for the people, they were not inside when the bear came, and it looks like it might settle in for a while too. The dog, on the other hand, is not going to let this theft slide so easily. The bear does charge at the dog, but the brave canine stands its ground once more and keeps barking at the bear. The bear starts getting intimidated in the end as it backs up a little. Sadly, even that is not enough to scare away the mother bear, and she finally rips the tent apart to get inside. People can only watch and wait for it to end from a distance. At this point, the dog seems to have earned some nice treats when they go home. These people stumbled upon a beautifully colored grizzly bear prowling the waterside for food. Neither party realized they would encounter each other, and both were taken by surprise. but the bear didn't seem to mind getting closer.
Hey.
The guide knew he needed to take responsibility for the people with him, and you can clearly see him taking it into his hands. Who can blame him, since bears are unpredictable? He stays ready as the curious bear makes its way closer to them.
Hi, sweet thing. Go on. You're a pretty one. Hey.
When it climbs up the little incline, the guide warns it not to come nearer, but the bear mock charges. They face an intense situation, and the bear drops back down, looking back at the person, seemingly surprised by the response.
No closer. Ah! You get!
However, this only piques the bear's curiosity even more, and it starts coming back, trying to climb atop the incline again. The guide repeats his previous actions, and the bear is finally scared away. Hopefully those people got the pictures they wanted.
Out of here. Go on. Get on out of here.
In a brave and selfless act, this man jumped into the jaws of danger and saved his home from a bear attack. Clearly hurt after the endeavor, he bore through the attack and managed to scare away the animal. To deter it from coming back, he blocks the door with a bench. If you thought going up to the first floor was a good way to stay safe from bears, then you might want to see this video. In a surprising twist, a bear managed to climb onto the roof and walks right by the window of the upper floor of the house. It seems we need more than just a wall for security. Imagine having your car rocked to the side like a toy by a 500-kilo polar bear. That Jeep might be built tough, but can it withstand the claws of a fully grown polar bear? These people were about to find out, but luckily for them, the bear lost interest and didn't cause them any harm.
Oh my god.
Oh! Oh!
Polar bears are not the only bears living on snow, as this group of explorers on snowmobiles discovered when they encountered a massive grizzly bear in the snow. The giant bear runs alongside them as they chase it down in this once-in-a-lifetime encounter. Hindered by the snow, the bear struggles to keep up. All of a sudden, the bear stands up on its hind legs, and one rider almost gets swiped off their vehicle. It draws its claws out and tries to grab them, but thankfully a last-moment maneuver helps them dodge the bear's swipe. A group of cyclists decided to rest at a scenic spot to recover from the exhaustion of cycling up a mountain track. To their surprise, they were met by a grizzly bear that casually walks up to their spot and passes by.
If you spray for the feet. But get together, everybody come together.
Remember?
Despite everyone appearing to lose their composure and turning pale from shock and fear, fortunately the bear did not target such a large group of people.
No bear! No bear!
No!
No bear! No bear! No bear!
A black bear running at full speed and in the mood for confrontation is seen pursuing a person speeding down a dirt bike track. The rider demonstrates their skills by keeping the throttle at maximum and navigating the curves swiftly, much like a squirrel evading a predator. In another story, a person approached noises coming from outside their window, only to find a black bear grazing on the fresh grass of their yard. Unaware of its audience, the bear continued its feast, probably for the best, as that window might not have been enough protection. person quietly lets the bear graze, hoping not to escalate an already intense situation. The bear keeps feeding as if there might be no tomorrow, while the person records this potentially once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Here's another example of why it's always important to be aware of the trails you use while biking in the mountains. Two people were speeding downhill when suddenly a third uninvited competitor, a bear, came rushing in to join them. The bear takes a shortcut in an attempt to cut them off, but they halt and start sprinting back up the hill, allowing the bear to continue its escape. In such a situation, what would you have done? This hilarious yet cinematic masterpiece shows a man being followed by a grizzly bear in the snow while he shouts at the top of his lungs. The scene is captured as if from a bird's eye view. What were the chances that anyone would have recorded this? With the blue crystal water shining like a diamond and a bear calmly sitting beside it, these people are probably witnessing something straight out of a movie. The animal patiently sits in the water as the people glide over the water in front of it.
He was trying to get closer.
A couple of people were out hiking when their path was blocked by a bear calmly walking towards them. They start backtracking exactly where they came from, and at this point, there is honestly nothing more that they can do.
Great. Hey, bear. Hey, bear. Yeah, stick stuck to it.
This man had a very awkward moment with a black bear that was chowing down on something along his window. When he opens the window, the bear takes a few seconds to realize that there is someone at the window, and the silence that follows is just nothing but awkward. As a form of reaction, the bear eventually tries to grab hold of the camera in the person's hand, but thankfully he manages to dodge the razor-sharp claws. If he hadn't, he might just have become a full-course meal along with what it was already eating. After being captured and kept in captivity, a few bears were let back out into the wild. The first bear has a very normal reaction as it quickly bolts out of the trailer, acting confused as it looks around before running off into the woods. That was pretty normal. However, the next bear had a reaction that showed us just how aggressive these animals can really be. As soon as the bear comes out of the cage, it lashes out at the same cage that contained it. The anger that it was storing up had to go somewhere, and this might be a testament to the brute force of these animals. This person woke up in the middle of a forest to a sound that nobody wants to hear while deep in the jungle. When he opened up the zipper, he saw a giant grizzly bear standing right outside of his tent. He instantly closed the zipper, but it was too late. The animal began brushing itself against the tent, making him panic. The best he could do to avoid the situation was to start screaming and making as much noise as he could to fend off the creature. He made very terrible and loud screams as best as he could.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
After the noises and rustling ended, he peeked out of the tent to realize that it had actually worked. the bear was nowhere to be seen and the coast was finally clear, which meant it was time to pack up and head back home. While out photographing the wild, these men were charged by a giant grizzly bear that ran at them in spectacular fashion. One of them knew what had to be done and stood his ground against the animal, even charging right back at it, successfully scaring it away. In the dark of night, around 10 p.m., a family can be seen returning home after a night out. Little did they know another family was about to arrive at the same spot. A family of bears. A mother bear and her cubs stroll right outside the door just seconds later. The woman comes out, probably to throw some garbage away, but she is met by the bear family as she walks down the path. She comes running back and locks everything behind her, and so does the mother bear and her cub. That was just seconds from disaster, but luckily she managed to run back in time. The bears weren't planning to stay in the same spot either. They instantly start moving again and leave the premises as quickly as they came. Here's a sticky situation. A bear catches up to a man standing on the platform of a tree, and things do not look nice for him. The bear is not intimidated one bit and hangs on inches away from the man as they both hug the tree they are on.
Оставь, слезь. Слезь с лестницы. Я тебе кому говорю слезь? Мне надо повесить. Куда ты полез? Ну куда?
The bear drops back down and leaves the man alone for a while, but it doesn't go far. It strolls around under the tree, probably in hopes that the man might come down on his own at any moment, and it looks adamant.
Не надо под меня лестницу выдергивать. Мансур! Мансур!
After losing patience finally, the bear stands alongside the ladder and begins to rock it, thinking that it might make the man fall right into its paws. He keeps calling out to the bear, knowing that if he loses that ladder, even if the bear leaves, he might be stuck up there. This hiker went sightseeing, but the sight he encountered wasn't the one he expected. A grizzly bear approached him in a casual manner, and all he could do was say, "Hey, bear."
Hey, buddy.
A fisherman found himself in hot water when a bear arrived at his fishing spot and snatched his attention from fishing. He calmly records the animal as it pokes out from the greenery behind him. Kudos to him for having sharp eyes and spotting the bear so quickly.
Freaking grizzly bear eating some salmon. Fellow fisherman. All right.
The bear starts making its way over to the man, and that's when he knows he needs to start taking action. He lets out a few "hey bears" to let it know that he is not going to be an easy target, but the bear just keeps on coming.
Kurt. Well, I can't run.
The bear proceeds to ignore the men and ends up stealing one of their bags. What else could they have done at the time than just let the bear do what it wants to do? He should be thankful that it was just the bag that the bear made off with.
You stole my bag. Hey, bear! Hey!
Now here is a sight to behold from your kitchen window and door. A bear carefully balances itself on the railing and fence of the house as it casually walks just outside the house. The homeowners know that they need to be as silent as they can be right now.
Oh my God, there. Holy.
That's gnarly.
Everyone's like, where's the bear?
After a short visit, the bear hops down and begins to run to the other side. Thank God for double glazed glass, because if the bear saw them inside, then it might also want to hop in and get away from the cold for a while.
Is that Martin? The bear is back. The saga continues.
These fishermen found a nice spot to fish from, but little did they know that bears also use that same exact spot to catch their fish. One of them even joins them for the hunt, and both man and beast coexist for a moment to hunt together in harmony. These people surprised a small bear on their porch, and the little guy had nothing in mind but to just bolt away from there as fast as it could. It could not fight the exit, so it just made one by forcing its way through the fence and breaking it apart.
Get out of here! Oh no! Oh no!
These people now need to stay still to return home on their own 2 feet and not in an ambulance. A giant grizzly bear comes out of the bush and right on top of them. The animal walks by them, but not without stopping to look at them for a while.
Hey, big boy.
Yeah.
Hey, big boy.
Just as soon as it walks by, it stops, makes a U-turn, and begins heading back where it came from. Talk about a double heart attack. Now, if anything, one thing is for sure, and that is that these people have their luck maxed out at the moment.